Tswaanda, redefining agriculture in Africa. Don't forget to subscribe.
The agri-funding system using distributed ledger technology. Let's bring on confidence. Nyirenda. Confidence.
Listen, you just made life difficult for me. I think you put me between me and that. But anyway, how are you guys doing? My name is Confidence Nyirenda, and I'm the I am the CTO and co-founder of Tswaanda Africa. We are a company that is based in Zimbabwe, so we are a very long way from home. But if you guys, guys can kind of general like the history between Zimbabwe and Ghana. Does anyone know the history between Ghana and Zimbabwe? Yeah. Yeah. So our president had a habit of coming to look for girls in Ghana. So I was just thinking, maybe that's becoming a president 101. But anyway, like I said, my name is Confidence Nyirenda, and I'm from Tswaanda. You can go to the next slide. And yeah, a brief history about me. I grew up with a father who was a farm manager, and I grew up on a farm, of course. And I grew some passion for farming. And well, I didn't become a farmer. I then became a web developer, and I stumbled upon blockchain when I was still at college, and it was a very interesting technology to me. And so I took a dive into blockchain, and I was always wondering, like, what problems can I solve in Africa using the blockchain technology? Until 2 years ago, I ventured back into farming. I bought a farm for myself, and I did some crops, and I had a very good harvest at that moment, but I was looking to scale. But then came the problem with scaling. I needed money. I went to some banking institutions. They told me a lot of stuff that I need to put a lot of collateral for me to get that funding. So then I said, why do I solve this problem? Because this is something that a lot of farmers are facing. But then, in Zimbabwe and in Africa, our agricultural industry is crumbling down. And if you look at it, case study Zimbabwe. At one point, agriculture used to contribute 22% in our country's GDP. But now that number has gone down by a factor of 10%. And you can look at it, like there are a lot of challenges that include corruption, the lack of transparency, accountability, and all of those problems are hampering the growth of the agriculture sector. So, next slide. Thomas Jefferson specifically says cultivators of the earth are the most valuable citizens of this world. But yet, nobody really cares about what the farmers are going through, all the problems that they are having, and all the challenges that they are having. But at the end of the day, they determine the food that we eat. Right? Next slide. So, we identified a number of challenges in the farming industry. So the first challenge was changing consumer trends, right? So in the food industry, consumer trends, they change constantly. At the moment, there's a growing movement of vegans, right? So that means farmers really need to change, like the type of food that they're focusing on. But you can't tell that to somebody who's already farming a certain type of crop to say change what you're doing, because it's really difficult. They will ask you what if it doesn't work, right? So due to the fluctuations in demand, they can sometimes be a large payout or a very minimal output from their investment. So sometimes, because these farmers lack knowledge at times, it's really, really difficult for them then to understand how the trends are changing. Sometimes they make a lot of money, sometimes they don't make money from their output, and that can be really, really stressful. Next slide. Okay, then this is the biggest problem that I've seen in the farming industry, which is record keeping and inventory management. So, bookkeeping is really difficult for farmers. Like, a lot of farmers, for those who understand, they just go to the field, they plant, they harvest. Once they get the money, they are happy. But they don't really know if they made a profit or not, or if whatever they are doing is scalable or can be moved to another level. So records are not properly kept, therefore, inventories buyers, if they only record how much they have produced. So as Tswaanda, we're introducing the Tswaanda app that will help farmers track the activities of what they are doing from day to day. They are also tracking things like the workers that they have, the money that they have made in previous years. That way they can tell, and also it can help us determine whether that farmer is worth funding or not. Next slide. And then the automation and technology use. So a lot of farmers right now at the moment are not like advancing with technology. There's a lot of technology that can cut down like the amount of work that a farmer needs to put in for them to produce. And one of the reasons why they are lagging behind is because they don't have the money, right? They lack the funding. Like I said at the beginning of my story, it's very difficult for you to go to a bank and convince them that give us the money. They will tell you, give us your title deeds, or stuff like that. So despite the many farming technologies that are now in place to help out farmers, they lack the awareness, access to knowledge, and funds to these technologies. Next slide, please. So our solution is integrating the blockchain. So we are making use of the blockchain, and one of the things that we're really focusing on is inefficiency. There are so many problems in the agricultural sector. We can't solve all of those problems, but we are at least aiming at inefficiencies that are in the industry. Next slide. So our process goes that at least a farmer has to trade in transparency. They just have to be transparent about what they are doing, record everything, so that we can use that data to determine whether you are worth getting the funding or not. So you're no longer putting the collateral, you are now just becoming transparent. And on the second stage, you get provided with a micro loan, with a loan for you to do whatever you want to do. And then we are also adding an incentive, that is if the farmer is practicing sustainable farming. Next slide. So we are introducing what we term toll funding. So with toll funding, we collect and store data about the farmer and their activity, which allows for a generation of crucial information that will increase agricultural value to the chain's performance. And we are providing financial and business transparency by enabling stakeholders to have traceable data to help in decision making. So here we just have a trade-off as to when you are supposed to be putting down a lot of collateral, you just need to be transparent, and then we can determine whether you are worth getting a loan or not. Next slide. Okay, so on providing the market loans. So, like I said, the traditional process is better, so it's very difficult, and there are a lot of preparatory requirements and collateralization, plus a high interest for you to actually get the loan. So that really scares farmers. But then this is what is really leading to the decline in the agriculture sector. Because farmers run away from those things, although there are facilities for them to get the loan, but the requirement is what they run away from. So we are changing the system to a traceable credit score system that determines the farmer's credit worthiness and helps him solve evaluate his sustainability. Next slide, please. Okay, so the last issue that I'm going to talk about here is like some of the practices that are in the agriculture sector. And like some farmers don't really care about what they are doing, their activities. Like some farmers, they use too much fertilizer in their field, and at the end of the day, it's rushed away into rivers. That is the source of drinking water, and like for a normal person, that contaminates the chemicals and everything. So we are creating an incentive through a blockchain also for farmers to say, if you are farming in a way that we are chasing, and we can see that you're doing the right thing, we can give you some reward for doing that. So we want to use incentives that we encourage and normalize sustainable farming methods. Next slide, please. So this is just a peek of our application or look like for a farmer. So they have all those tabs where there's a dashboard and invoices of what of the activities that they have done, and well, some graphs and all that gives them information about their performance, probably for a month or for the past year or something like that. Next slide, please. And these are our team members. That's me, confidence. And then that's our COO, Celestine, and our lead developer was based on Bangladesh. And last but not least, can you go to the next slide? I just wanted to speak about XDC network, which is the blockchain that is powering Tswaanda Africa. So we are building our technology on XDC network, and I just wanted to reach out to all other developers in here. If you have a startup that you're building and you're looking to build on the blockchain technology used by XDC, feel free to reach out. I'll be at the Tswaanda booth that is just behind this pillar over there, and we can discuss from. Sorry, but the MC was asking me what Tswaanda means. So Tswaanda is a Shona word. Shona is the language that we use in Zimbabwe. So it's that container that you use when you're harvesting. So when you go to the field and the farmer is harvesting, that's the container where you put your produce. Yeah, that's it.
Tswaanda.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Also.
Yeah, but please just get up for him. He managed to group your attention and was able to compete against lunch and win. But the thing is that lunch is still